Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us again on Ask How About on a final episode of the year. That's right, this is the final episode of the year. We only have a few days remaining by the time the show airs. Only have 3 days, I guess, yeah, till the end of the year. So, I thought it'd be fun if we did a quick recap of this whole year scenario with a song. Check it out. 2020, what a year, full of terrible news this year. There were talks of World War III, but a dictator, and Kim Jong Un. The Australia was on fire! No, literally. It was called the Bush Fire. Then the start of the pandemic, and the corona still isn't gone. We were forced to wear our masks, we wore it more than our underwear, and really, if you think about it, we really didn't even wear our pants. Everything became online, which meant there was no physical contact. And I really hope that is all, but oh no, wait, there really is more. We were under lockdown, acting like savages. Weren't we always savages? I really don't remember anymore. Saw footage of a UFO, mystery of a monolith. Did all this really happen? Was it a really bad dream? But seriously, 2020 opened our eyes to the injustice that is our world. We saw rise in social awareness, saw fights for human rights, shifted our focus on mental issues, took a pause and focused on ourselves. That will help in the long run, but right now, it's still 2020. 2020, what a year! Been a roller coaster ride this year. Yet, I feel optimistic because I have survived. And if you're watching this video, do like, share, and subscribe because we both did the impossible. We survived 2020. Now, how's that for a performance? Yeah! Now, I do want to mention this coming Wednesday in the talk, which will be December 30th, we will be discussing the good, the bad, and the everything of 2020 and if this year is going to be good or bad for humanity in the long run. So, do check that out. Now, coming to the main topic New Year's Eve party. Please do be careful when you celebrate that because this pandemic isn't going to magically vanish once the clock strikes 12 and becomes 2021. So, do be careful, and if you're not, well, we have an exclusive footage of what might happen if we don't celebrate cautiously this year. Ho 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 ho! You might be laughing. You might think, oh, that's just a joke. No, it's not. If anything, it can be possible. You know why? 2020 has taught us anything is possible. So please do be careful. I thought we might take a moment, a pause, and think about the other side this pandemic has an effect on. Not just on our health, on the economy. Now, it's no secret the economy has suffered a lot, everyone knows that. But I want to focus on one part of it sales. Just like any other industry, sales has suffered dramatically because of this pandemic. Because here's the thing sales is pretty important apparently for economy because if people don't sell and buy, there is no economy. That's high level intelligence information I just gave you right there. All right. Now, when it comes to sales, the reason it suffered so much is because the medium is so different. Everything is online. And so that means the old traditional sales techniques don't necessarily work here. So that is why a field such as sales, which has been around since, I don't know, forever, has now need a rapid makeover and it's become a field of innovation and a need for new talent. So that is why we thought we need to go understand what sales is about and more than anything, what sales actually entails. So we're going to talk to Mr. Anurag Jain because he knows a thing or two about sales, because all he's done is made a career by being a salesman. So he knows how the state terrain is right now. He's been successful even now. So we wanted to know what does it take to become a good salesman in this climate and if we have what it takes to become a salesman. Check it out. When I say the word sales, what comes in your
Hmm.
mind? Like, what is the thing
Okay,
instinctive?
great. So sales is a dirty word. So people, whenever someone tries to come and sell you something, you say, oh, no, 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 no. So, but there was a Gallup, and there is a reason behind that. You must have heard a cliche where, you know, uh, sales people say sales is something like, selling coal to coal India
Okay.
or selling comb to a bald man,
Hmm.
right? So unfortunately, that is not sales.
Right.
But sales is equals to service. How does it sound? you know
Innovative.
Selling is all about serving your customers. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
S- yes. So somewhere, the sales should start from the customer, as a focal point, not the other way around.
So it's like the thing of like, always put your customer ahead for making the best sales possible. Right? Am I close?
Correct. And one more point, there was a Gallup survey in 2018 in United States of America regarding which is the least trusted profession and which is the best trusted profession in the world in terms of integrity and honesty and ethics. So sales was the second least trusted profession, and guess who were the number one? Well, it's politicians.
What? You have been a sales head for years in your career, and that undoubtedly comes with strategies you have to make for how people in that company have to sell, or rather be aware of that product. The financial market
Mhm.
plays a big role in this, right? And this year has not technically been that good. Now I know you told me that this is a new opportunity to become better, but how has that been in general for the industry?
So that is a very good question. I would rephrase this question as, how to sell during COVID times. During these times, customer may have time, but they don't have patience to listen. And during online classes, if you saw,
Yeah.
there is a difference between face to face. When you attend the classes, there is always a difference between online classes where a lot of technical glitches are there and all those things. So I would give 5 tips, how to uh, tackle these challenges, sales challenges, and how to approach sales during COVID times. I always say that do your homework, which means that whenever you approach customers, have a total background about his business, what he's doing, what his present challenges, and what kind of solutions they may require, and then do your homework. So that is the first thing. Second thing, have empathy and have compassion. Idea is how you can help them listen empathetically. Third thing is add value, add value, add value. So if you're just presenting a sales pitch that has no meaning and you're talking only about product and all that, so customer is not interested. For him, can you solve his problem, his pain point at that particular moment? Because he may not look at the solutions which are say 1 year away,
Right. You look
because
at it
he's
right now.
dying. Yes. So what is the quick win for him? Fourth point, I would always say that you should listen actively. In half an hour meeting with a customer, I speak only 5 minutes and listen 25 minutes. I ask lot of questions, open-ended questions, and let the customer speak. Then some silence. We say golden silence. Then again he speaks. But literally, if you are sitting with a salesman, 25 minutes he'll speak non-stop, and then you say, "Oh, what is happening?" So idea is you have to understand him rather than bombarding with your solutions and you're not allowing him to speak. So that is critical. And during online, he will not because the when I said that there is no patience, so you have to be very specific in your
Right.
communication. So
Yes.
be smart, be bold, don't be shy, which means that go and approach customers because they are waiting for you. Help your customers because they really need you. Yeah.
I think the important things you mentioned is like in terms of sales you described it as a service, as a help, and I think not just for the pandemic. I think you've given very good tips just for sales of any time right now, and that I think anyone watching this would be thankful for that. So I'd like to go a
Correct.
step further and
Yeah.
ask you, give you a hypothetical situation where if I give you a product to sell to a particular client, what
Hmm.
goes in your head? Because I think knowing that would help a lot of people who want to be good in sales.
So I think you could be a good salesperson, I guess, because you are asking smart questions. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You should start with their problems instead of your solutions. You will get much more leads, follow back, and business. See, when you are approaching customer for sales, there is a process which is called sales process, right?
Okay.
So sales process, right from customer identification to making your sales pipeline. There is a universe, there is a probable customer, then there was a customers who have high probability of buying from you. And then who are the decision makers whom you should approach, what should be your sales pitch, what should be your sales arguments, and then what kind of value proposition your product is offering, what is the ROI of your offer, that is return on investment. Okay. And then how many visits are required to close a deal. You can't go endlessly, and there is a cost of sales as well.
Right.
And then whom to approach in a company. Should you approach a CEO, should you approach purchase guy, or should you approach legal guy, or should you approach user? So there a lot of people are involved in a decision making process when you are selling the product. And then finally, how everyone is convinced about a product or solution, right? With clear technical presentation and value and your return on investment presentation. So they're the two presentations that has to be done, so all stakeholders are satisfied.
As a
Hmm.
sales head, you also
Hmm.
hire people who are coming in sales in various companies. You've done that numerous times over. So, what are the qualities which might not be, which are intangible, which might not be seen on the surface, but what are the qualities you look for in a salesman?
I select salespeople not looking at the degree.
Mhm.
So for me, there are three qualities which I look in a salespeople. First is he should have confidence. Like Rajnikant says, people ask him, "Sir, what is your secret of success?" He says, "Sir, confidence, confidence, and confidence." Right. So for me, confidence is the key. First. Second is positive attitude.
Okay.
So if you don't have a positive attitude, you can't go far, man. You can't go far. And third is right mindset. If your mindset is not right, again, I can't do anything. So these are three critical success factor for any person. But apart from that, once you have these three things, then another three things are important for me. They should have passion, they should have energy, and they should have intensity. If you're not confident about your product or price, how the customer is going to be confident about that? And selling skills can be provided in the sense product knowledge.
Mhm.
We can be given, it can be given, but person should have flavor for sales. It has to be instinctive. A person could be a salesman, which you can make him, but it has to be
So it
from
has to be
something from
from
inside,
within you. Okay, yeah, okay,
from
I
within
agree.
you,
Yeah,
within
I
you,
agree.
within
So
you. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is what I wanted to know, because there's one thing to have a degree in sales, and there's another thing where
Hmm.
you're born a salesman. You might not have that degree, but it's something within you. And I think recognizing that skill is of utmost importance, not just in sales, but in any other job as
Hmm.
well. Otherwise, because you would never be happy at what you do. For example, you take
Yes.
yourself, like you found something you love, and you can clearly see the passion when you talk about sales, right? With the right
Hmm.
opportunity, the person can be found. Their strengths can be utilized the best, and that can actually be much more beneficial than just saying do what everybody else is doing. And so I think there has been a wonderful, very educational, honestly, about sales. If I would ask one final question, it would be about personal sales, in the sense of, like, it's very important right now. Everybody's judging you through the digital map, through how you are on social media. So how much of it is for one person to be an influencer, not just for like
Yeah.
thousands of people,
Okay.
but for
Yes. Very good question. And see, to be an influencer, you should be genuine first. Be authentic, be genuine. So like my greatest years of learning in sales is that you should be authentic, genuine, trustworthy, with high degree of integrity and actions in your approach. Once you build trust with your customers and they have credibility with you, then getting business is just a matter of time. Yeah. So be authentic and put your customers first. You can't fake it. So generally people say sales people are lies a lot. In my sales I never lied. Even in my real life I never lie. I always speak truth, and that gives me credibility. So this is what about the influencer and the sales. So sales is not no more a dirty word. It is no more gimmicks. It
yeah.
is all about be real, be authentic, be transparent, and be be there to help and serve your customer.
I think there's genuinely an art and science behind sales, because art in the sense of how you close the deal, how you communicate, science behind the research
Hmm.
and what you do behind anything, anytime you go and do a sales. So that's why I highly respect that field, and it was great getting to talk to you and to understand what actually goes inside a proper salesman's head.
I always say that either you make excuses or you make money,
Okay,
but you can't make both.
fair
Uh,
point.
and regarding sales training, you asked me. I always say that don't practice until you get it right, but practice until you can't get it wrong.
That's nice.
Don't practice until you get it right, but
Absolutely.
practice until you can't get it wrong. Miss, if you want to hit a six, so it will go over six. Like, so you might have, say 1,000 sixes you've tried. Now you can hit a six. Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is important, and we discuss about what is the need analysis, right, of a customer. So I will give you a quick story. We all heard about car salesmen, so whenever you go to buy, they're the car salesmen, and they are smart people. They know how to convince customer, and so there was this time when a father approached a car sales showroom, and he met a sales guy. And sales guy asked him, "Sir, whom do you want to buy the car for?" And this father told that, "I would like to buy a car for my son who is just turned 18 years, and he drives very fast, and I'm a bit concerned for him." So salesman observed him, and next 10 minutes he has discussed 10 safety features of the car and nothing else. Only safety features. No mileage, no warranty, no price, nothing. Yeah. And guess what? He sold the car to father. After half an hour, there was a lady came with a gentleman, and same salesman, same car. And he asked the same question, "Sir, who do you want to buy the car for?" Says, "She is my wife and she would like to talk to you." And the lady start asking everything about car aesthetics, car delivery, car mileage, money, freebies, and salesman replied everything. And then he also offered her to for a test drive, and she apparently liked it very much. And salesman also sold car to her. And now imagine a scenario where salesman is talking about safety features to this lady and mileage, warranty, and price to the father. Probably he wouldn't have sold car to both. Here salesman was same, car was same, two different customers, his two different needs, his two different sales arguments, and the same result, sold the car.
Right.
So that is the need analysis, how you, and what should be your sales arguments or sales pitch. So with this example I will close this.
Well, that was actually wonderfully good. I mean, that actually narrates all the things you talked about in the interview about all the different sales pitches, how to analyze the customer, and also, how to relate and always serve the customer. I think that's a wonderful way for any salesman or wanting to be a salesman watching this. This is a masterclass, technically speaking. So,
Thank you so much. It's always pleasure to share the knowledge, and knowledge is the new currency. So,
yeah,
so,
definitely.
so I would say, Mr. Naran Murthy. I've heard him. He says two things. One is, as a leader or as a person, you should always be open to feedback from any level, from anyone.
Mhm.
And second thing, always keep learning. So, someone in his company did some sales course, someone did in his company some finance course, and he asked them, "Okay, whatever you learned, you teach us." And he was the MD, and he made all the notes, and see, he said that all those learnings still we are using it. So which means it is all about learning, and knowledge is the new currency.
For sure, for sure. Well, sir,
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for talking about sales. Thank you for sharing your passion for sales with us and our viewers. And really, it's been wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pranay.
So that is it in terms of the interview, and I really hope You learned a lot about sales, what it takes to become a salesman in this terrain we are in right now. And it was enriching for me. I hope it was for you as well. And now, from behalf of Team Ask Her About, I'd like to wish you all a very happy New Year, because next time I've seen you might be after the New Year. So, a very happy New Year to you all. And I want to mention, do be careful when you celebrate this year's New Year, because you saw the video you posted before. Anything is possible. And on that note, I'd like to end this video. So do like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much.